Hey, all you crazy Richest You fans. In this video, I'm going to talk about the retirement scam and why deferred taxes suck. All right, welcome to the Richest You latest video. In this video, I'm going to talk about exactly why retirement is a scam, but worse, why deferring your taxes is absolutely the most stupid thing you could possibly do. Now, first off, let's talk about retirement just really briefly. I do this in other videos as well, but this is absolutely worth repeating, and here's why. Retirement means to put out of commission. People who retire have a tendency to die very soon after retiring. So you work your whole life to save up a little bit of money, right? And then you want to hope that your golden years you have good health, number one. Good luck with that in America especially. And then maybe just enough money to be able to do the things you like and not have to get up early. You can sleep in, you can go fishing, you can go shopping, you can do whatever you want, right? Wrong. Your dollar, after you've saved for so long, doesn't even buy near as much as it used to. So this is a big part of what we're going to be doing in a video series about saving also, and using precious metals and things like that to save instead of the dollar, which is constantly declining. Now think about that for a second. Inflation on a fake currency, fiat money like the US dollar, because it's not backed by silver or gold. Bing, shocker, oh my God, what do you mean it's not? Okay, we won't do that in this video. Anytime a currency is a fiat currency, which means it's not backed by anything substantial, it always experiences inflation, which means that the value of the dollar goes down. See, everybody thinks, well, just everything, the prices just go up, the prices go up. No, it means that the strength of your dollar bill is going down. The products still cost the same amount to make them. It still takes as many man hours as it did before. It still takes as many manufacturing hours as it did before. It still takes the same amount of time to get one truck from one place to another and the same amount of gas. It's just that the dollar has less buying power. So when that happens and you've saved all your life, you hope to buy a loaf of bread that when you're retired at the same value or the same price as when you were first saving. That's impossible in a fiat currency system simply because of inflation. The bread will be more expensive, which also means that your housing will be more expensive, your water will be more expensive, your air conditioning will be more expensive, and goodness knows your medical bills will be sky high. Holy cow, don't even get me started on medical bills. So now you understand, number one, that retiring is a big mistake because most people die almost as soon as they retire. And if they die, then their partner usually follows pretty soon after. Unless, of course, it was a husband and wife or partners that don't get along and they're happy that the other person is gone. But that's a whole different discussion. So right now what I want to focus on, though, is the idea that your dollar buys less. So you've saved all your life, and now not only do you have less to do and you're less productive, and so your body is not being used, and use it or lose it, and so you die sooner, right? You're being put out to pasture and they're just waiting for you to die. But also the money that you saved and worked so hard for during the years that you had the most energy and the best health, now your dollar doesn't even buy near as much as it did before. But that is not the most insidious part of the whole plan. The idea of the 401k or the Roth, deferring your taxes, right? Deferring taxes till a future time. Hey, it's okay. You get to save more, and so then you can compound interest and then pay the tax later. Well, you know why the government's happy with the 401k? Because the taxes always go up. The Office of General Accountability for the U.S. government has predicted that if U.S. government spending and health benefits across the nation continue the way they're continuing or the way they're going, it's going to take a rate hike of 50 to 60% to be able to cover the spending that the government is doing. That means, now let me be real clear about that. We're already taxing, especially the wealthy, at 35%. The 0.1 percenters are being taxed at just about 35%. The 1 percenters are being taxed at about 33%. And then right below that is about 25 to 28%. Okay, That's straight off the General Accountability Office's website, okay? Think about that for a second. That means for 35% of the year, you're a slave to the government. Now they want to increase it to 50 to 60% of your year that you work, okay? And this is a whole different topic, but I'm going to touch on it really briefly. When you are taxed that much, you are working for the government to support the government employees and all of the government programs that you think you want. All those handouts, all those freebies, all that empire building, all of those big spending bills for hammers that cost thousands of dollars, or why we're building bases all around the world so that we can police the whole world. You're paying for that by working 30% and now soon 50% of the year, 6 months a year, just to pay the government. That doesn't mean that you're also being able to pay for your bills and your housing and your children and your future and all of those wonderful things too. No. That's just your tax liability. 50 to 60% they're predicting, because the government can't stop spending money. So deferring taxes is absolutely the worst advice you could ever receive from any human being on the planet, because taxes always go up. Inflation always destroys the value of your currency, and everything will always be more expensive in your later years. Even if you save $1 million in a 401k, after taxes and fines and fees for pulling it out, and this is if the market doesn't go bad, $1 million is actually only worth around $73,000 to $75,000. Go do the math. If you don't trust me, look it up yourself. The Office of General Accountability for the U.S. government is the one that made that prediction. 50 to 60% for taxes. Can you imagine? For every dollar you make, you have to pay 50 or 60 cents to the government, as if it's not bad enough already. And of course, let's keep something else in mind too. We're already taxing the super wealthy in America, a total of 94 percentages brought all together, not out of 100. If you add their percentages together, they're paying 94%. And the lower and middle class is only paying about 24, 25% total. 90 versus just 20. I mean, you can't tax them more, because you know what happens? They know how money works. Rich people know how money works, and so they'll protect it. Or if you make it so they can't protect it, they'll take it to another country. That's what happens. When everybody rushes towards socialism and taxing the rich and they're so evil, guess what? They take their money someplace else where they can protect it, because they're not stupid, right? They're not just going to sit around. Not only that, but they have the resources to actually go and move and have a nice life wherever they go. Go figure. So taxing them more isn't going to fix it. How about let's do something really crazy, right? Pay your taxes now and build a retirement system that is tax-free. Now, the Roth supposedly is tax-free, except that you can only put up to $50,000 a year in. So that if you ever decide, you know what, this is wonderful, I want to save more because I finally started a business and I'm doing well. I want to protect this money for future, for myself and for my kids and my grandkids and my great-grandkids. Oh, a Roth won't let you do that. The government doesn't like that. No. You can only put in $50,000 a year because they still want to get their cut. But there is another way to do it so that you can put in as much as you want and have it tax-free forever and generate income and be indexed against the markets. When they perform well, it goes up. When they go down, it just stays at zero. It doesn't go down, because it's not in the market like a 401k. See, now that's the other point about the tax scam, right? Put your money in the market. It's safest in there. It averages 4% over 30 or 40 or 50 years. But what they don't tell you is when you turn 71 and a half or 72, right? The federal government requires you to pull that money out of your 401k. You have to start liquidating. Why? Because they want their taxes, man. They've been waiting so many years and they got to get their fix, man. They need that cash. We can't seem to stop spending. We can't balance our checkbook, man. Come on, I need it. I need that money. It's your money you worked hard for. Why are you putting it in a market and then being forced to pull it out, especially if the market is down? And guess what's coming? A huge correction that everybody on the planet is talking about. And nobody seems to know what to do about it. Oh, what do? I'll put it in the market. That's where I'll put it. Because when the market crashes, well, of course, eventually it'll go back up, won't it? No. It doesn't always go back up. Or worse, it takes 10 years for it to go back up, and you've lost all that time to be able to save. What if you're in the 60s and it takes 10 years for a market to finally get back up to where it was before you lost all that value? And now you're 70, but it's only just up to where it was from 10 years ago, and you were supposed to have saved 10 more years, but you didn't. You just barely made break even. So you can see why I get kind of passionate about this, right? Because it's a huge scam. It's a huge lie. Deferring taxes is the worst thing you could ever do. They're going to raise taxes, and they're not going to raise them a little bit. They're going to raise them a lot. You better get smart on how to protect your money and do it so that it's tax-free. And guess what? The way I'm talking about, the laser fund and the tax advantage insurance insurance contracts that are indexed against the market, those things are 100-year-old IRS code. They are never going away. They will not ever go away. And you want to know why? Because the government loves when people insure themselves. They love it when people take responsibility for their retirement so that they don't have to handle it. So do yourself a favor. If you're in a 401k, pull it out as quickly as possible. Please get out of the market. It's going to crash. You're going to lose all that money. Put it into a laser fund. That's all I have to say about that. Go and look on the General Accountability Office for the United States government and look at the report that says to cover spending that they are going to be doing, they're going to have to raise taxes to 50 to 60%. God bless us all. We're going to be working our butts off as slaves for the government when that happens. So I hope that you found some value in this rant, and I really appreciate everybody watching. If you liked it, please give a thumbs up, and please subscribe to the channel so you know when we put up new content. And if you're really actually serious about learning more about how to master your money and how money works and learning secrets about money that you've never heard before and won't hear anywhere else, definitely click on the link down below in the description and sign up for our course, The Richest You Mastering Money. I promise you won't regret it. All right, until next time, talk to you soon.